I see us. Does it sound okay? I see us. Seems like it sounds okay. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that next to the phone. What's up, everybody? So we are attempting to stream from our GoPro something. 8, 9?
It's a 9.
Our GoPro 9. We found out that it has streaming capabilities. And so that's what's happening. Anyways. Thank you guys so much for coming in, seeing what we're up to today. Hello. So yeah, today I am going to do some texture. I give it 2 thumbs up today because we can hear you. Well, thank you very much. So I did these earlier today trying to figure out how to plaster. Nope. How to modeling paste, which I put a little bit of plaster in as well. But I think they look okay. And so I'm going to show you how to do this in theory. Marcy, what's up? Hello, everyone. Can we contact Emma and tell her to come over here? Oh, is she on the other one? My failed attempt at a live. Oh. Nope. Delete that.
Sorry,
Surely she's not in the other one because it's like, it's OBE, right? I don't know. Marcy with $5. Thank you. And you had a gut feeling that I was going to go live with texture after seeing my post. Well, you nailed it. What's up, Betty? So let's kick this party off. This texture party. I appreciate that $5, Marcy. Every dollar we bring into the channel goes right back into it, and every dollar super helps. So super thanks. So I'm using this. I had this left over from when I did those massive white and gold geoids burls. And Marcy, you're in Dallas right now? Oh yeah, you have that thing. So this is a modeling paste by Liquitex. This jug cost me like, I don't even know how much. There's cheaper, I think Golden has a cheaper version. Kathy, thank you so much. I don't even have my perfume. Jeff's getting my perfume. Yes, where's everybody hanging out at? I really appreciate that, Kathy, so much. Thank you. There you go. So this is what modeling paste looks like. It has slight smell of ammonia, but that could be because this is older. It is pretty goopy. What's up, Swamper? You did catch a live. So I'm gonna be mixing in a little bit of my plaster to thicken up my goopiness. So here we go. I'm gonna use something. I'm gonna use this to get some of my this out of here. Now, modeling paste is awesome, but it tends to dry kind of quickly. Well, I'm glad everybody's here. So it dried out on the side of my bucket a little bit. Like I have some dried bits. But as far as I can tell, if it's just kind of dry, then you can mix it back in and it'll be fine. Because it's water-based. So it kind of can melt. But I think that's only if it's half set up instead of full set up. I don't know.
So skitsy.
Our cats are having skitsy moments over here. So I already tried this on 2 little tea tiny flowers, but I'm gonna get extra with the rest of this. I think I'm gonna try to get extra. You can also get stuff from hardware stores. Sweet. Roll Tide Lisa. You have some, you never used it? So Judy gave me a few different kinds of texture stuff not too long ago. And it was pretty cool to play with. So I'm using regular plaster. This is what I was using last week in my what were those? My molds for all those coasters. And I was doing this earlier on a paper plate, a disposable plate. Didn't really work out because of the amount of space I needed to be able to mix things in. And to actually get a flower petal, it's a lot more skilled. Okay, that sounds horrible. I'm not saying that people that do texture medium work is not skilled. It's super skilled. I just had no idea how skilled you actually had to be. And today I found out. So this would probably be easier if I was working on a regular, like a palette. But sometimes you gotta work with what you got. And today I got butcher sheets. There's no real formula that I could find of how to thicken up your modeling paste. I did read that you could use flour, which I tried and it kind of worked. And you can use cornstarch, which I did not try. But you can also use marble powder, which I did not try because I don't have any, and that sounds expensive. And baking soda. However, the only baking soda I have is the kind for laundry, and that doesn't really work out quite so nice. You can see on this one, it's kind of gross. Not gross, but discolored on the tips. And that is from whatever it is that's in the washing baking soda. So I guess it has a little bit of detergent in it. I don't know, but I didn't like it. So, meh. Oh, thank you so much, Marcy. We do work really hard to bring people videos as often as we can. And super chats are amazing. No pressure. I'll take it and I'll love it and I'll cherish it, but no pressure. Maybe we should bring back our giveaways for our channel contributors. So, I don't know if you guys can see this, but maybe B will get you in a little closer. This is still way too fluid. It's a little bit too much like cream cheese. That's awesome, Susan. So, I don't know if you can see that. If it just looks like this, it's a little bit too fluid. It's a little bit too nice. I'm gonna be trying to pick up the modeling paste with a texture in it that looks like a flower petal. So I have to thicken it up so that the texture stays. I was gonna have.
Turn this light on.
Yeah. My original intention was to have all of my modeling paste and colors and everything all ready, but I wanted you guys to know this process, mixing in the plaster. See, that's more like it. It's
Somebody give us some.
Christy, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really, really do. So I want it to have a little bit more of a grit to it. You can see it doesn't just smooth out super easy. It doesn't look like shiny. What was that thing I just said? Cream cheese. Oh, I also saw some people use baby powder, but I don't have any. I may have some Gold Bond, and I have some dry shampoo, but I don't think either of those.
That looks like it's drying right now.
I know, it just is gonna look like that until I mix in all the powder. Also, if you get it to a state where it's just too solid, like if this were to stay like this, then I would just put some more modeling paste on it. They also mixed in fibers from like toilet paper or baby diapers? Question mark. Actually, I'm just gonna put this and this together.
I don't know why you don't have that like on a board. It seems like a hassle with that paper.
It's not the funnest time with this paper, but it's not gonna be in my life for that long, so I'm not gonna get worked up about it. All right, so we have our consistency. It's kind of like bread dough. So it's got a little bit of stickiness to it, but it's gonna hold its shape. All right, I'm gonna get a new piece of paper and we're gonna start making flower petals. I'm getting a new piece of paper because I don't want to risk picking up just a bunch of what's it called?
Dried out stuff.
Yeah, but more so, mom, nope, plaster. I don't want to just pick up a whole spatula of plaster. You can do so many things with this that's not making flowers. I mean, we did this one earlier. It took not a lot of time at all. And so with the leftovers, I will do this. Super quick, super fun, super awesome, super. Okay, so let's split this because I'm gonna do 2 colors. Probably wouldn't hurt to do gloves. That's enough, Bowie. Okay. All right, so this is how you make it different colors. Basically, use just any water-based paint that you have. You could even use micas. Nope. All right. And I haven't really tried micas, but I know you can. This color is Deco Art Metallics in teal. Dazzling teal. If you think you add too much paint, then just add more modeling paste. Because the modeling paste and everything you mixed into it is an opaque white color, just know that your colors may end up pasteling up a bit, but you can add more color, and if that makes your everything too thin, then just add more of whatever dry ingredient that you're using, like the plaster, which is what I used, but you don't have to use plaster. You can use any of those other things that I mentioned earlier. I'm okay with this being not all the same color because that's boring. I just want to make sure I don't have any patches of just acrylic paint because that's going to take longer to dry. I bet this would look really cool with chameleons, by the way. Right. And the other one, I'm gonna mix a yellow by Folk Art, Yellow Flash, number 5195. Hi, Sandy in Vegas. How are things out there?
He's trying to get like, oh, he got it. He was like scared.
Probably because he had to go under that chair to get it. Girl cat, don't you be mean.
She's just like following him around.
And she ran up to him like she was ready to do something. So I haven't really done any successful two-tone pieces, but it's about to happen. I'm about to do a successful one. You guys are gonna witness it, and it's gonna be amazing. Okay? Okay. Hey, Toots. How long do you have to work with this? So if it starts to dry out on you, I have found through more errors than trials, but trial and error, that you can just add more modeling paste if it hasn't fully dried out on you, and that should wake back up your existing modeling paste. All right, here's the deal. This next process, it took so long to figure out because no one really goes into detail about it, but you're supposed to like put a thin layer of your color out. I saw people do this part, but they didn't explain how thick the layer should be or anything. So I just had to figure it out. So that was not fun. So it's like an 1/8 inch probably. All right. Oh, it is Ukraine colors, isn't it? So I'm taking my palette knife and I'm only picking up color from the angle to the tip. So where the bend is to the tip of the palette knife. And I'm gonna try to hold it at a 45-degree angle. And I'm just going to press and remove bits of color. It's not thick enough. So what I'm trying to do is pick up color like this, but more refined. And it should have a texture on it after I pick it up. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Clara. So there is none. It's just globs, if you will. And so the answer to that is this. Unfortunately, I thought I had enough on there so that you guys didn't have to see me mix any more of this, but it's not the case, and so I'll try to hurry. You want your petals to retain their texture. So to do that, I have to thicken it up a bit so that it will hold the texture. That's why I say it's like bread dough, where it's kind of a little bit gritty. So if you tried to like smear it, you can see that kind of putty texture. That's what it looks like, Play-Doh. So it looks kind of like Play-Doh. Arlene, I am trying to make a thick modeling paste with plaster so that I can show you guys how to make flowers and do designs with a texture medium and a stencil. All right, before I get done with this and move on, I have to wipe this off again. Let me just make sure of what it looks like before I move on. It's almost there. I don't know if you guys can see that there's just a little bit of texture right in here, but not so much here. So I need to mix a bit more of that. Not a lot. And so then you just fold it in. I swear I didn't know that it would take this long to get the right consistency, or I would have already had this stuff pre-mixed for you guys. However, it's also pretty important to know what kind of consistency you need, because I tried to do this after watching a couple videos on mute and had no idea that consistency was key. Who knew? I didn't, but now I knew. No, now I know. You know what bread looks like when you pull it out of a stand mixer? I don't know, because I don't make bread or have a stand mixer. But this is what I envision it looking like from like the few movies that I have seen that have stand mixers in it and they make bread. Okay, well, let's give this a shot. Also, special thanks to Judy for bringing this way of arting to my attention. I had no idea. Perfect. See how it has like that ripple look? Hope you can see that, because our yellow is good to go. Now I just have to do the same thing to our blue color and we can make petals finally. It just wasn't thick enough. I thought it was. That's okay, because this is thick enough now. And everybody knows what it's supposed to look like. So there are texture mediums and fillers and thickeners that you can use that doesn't have to do with powder or modeling paste. Any thick medium that will hold its shape is good for what I'm about to do. Bonus if you can color it to whatever colors that you like, but yeah. I can still see some shiny in the blue, so I know it's not ready yet. Basically, yeah, look for ripples. Look for Play-Doh or fresh bread dough consistency. Or you know when you have cookie dough? That's what it looks like when you break it apart and it's kind of not gritty, but you can see a texture. It's not super smooth. That's kind of where I'm trying to get to. I don't think I added too much powder, but if I did, not a big deal. All I have to do is add a little bit more plaster. Nope, a little bit more modeling paste. I think we're good. You can also pipe this stuff through like icing bags, which I got today in preparation for me doing some of this. All right. Okay. So just like with resin, I'm going to show you guys the things that people didn't want to share with me. I didn't ask anybody this time, I just did a quick search. This is my first glass of wine and I just spilled it. Okay. So this is going to be a two-tone flower petal. This is my first attempt slash fail at a two-tone flower petal. It's neither cute or amazing or floral. And so what I do is smear out some color, kind of on the thin side. And then, okay, Bowie, I'm going to pick up just slivers of it at a 45-degree angle, concentrating on the tip, because that's where I want most of my color, most of my everything, and that's going to help it, the flower petal kind of curl and create a look. Right, Jenny? Figured you had a bunch. So I'm just gonna pick up a bunch and then I'm gonna switch to blue. So that we have some tone. See, we're picking up two tones. Seems risky for me to do that. Okay, so now I have my first petal. I guess we'll do it on here. There's a two-tone petal. This is a background petal, so it doesn't have to be cute. No! So you really want it to have all that thickness so that you can kind of shape it once it starts to like dry a little bit. So I'll be able to shape this petal. All this down here doesn't count, doesn't matter. All right, next petal. Ooh, forgot to tell you guys, if you are doing a petal on your left, right here, then you want to load up like this so that all the fan or the flower petal comes out on this side. Whatever side you want to do it on, you need the fan of pigment to come out on that side. So I'm going to do one on this side, the left side of the center. So I'm going to pick all of my everything up so that see all those ripples and textures on the back? You be careful, Joe. So I'm gonna set it just under this petal and smear it towards the center. That way I can do whatever I want with this part of the petal. Once it starts to set up a little bit. What's up, Rumpel? Okay. So now we're gonna do the other petal. So I have to load, so we're gonna do a petal on this side, so I have to load my palette knife opposite. We need some more everything. So we're gonna put a thin line back out and then load up on that side of the palette knife. And then some of the blue. And so with every scrape that you make, it's picking up more color. And so just like the first one, we're just gonna lift this side a little bit so that we can put this petal in there. And then do whatever we wanna do with that outside edge. Maybe bring it up a little bit. Curl it maybe. And now we have 3 petals. Oh, did you see Pugsley? He's always back there. All right. So now I need to do another one over here. I'm just gonna load it up regular so that it comes off the left side. Nice texture. And then we're gonna lift that petal up and put this one right up in there. So we got kind of a pinwheel action going on. Now I need a center. What do we got? I guess I could make a purple center. Just because it's what's closest. A lot of people that I saw doing these would kind of just take fake flower centers and use those, which is fine. Ooh, these 2 colors are nice together. So from what I saw on the internets, I'm just gonna put a little glob right there in the middle. That's gonna be our pollen area. Right? Thank you, Judy, for this super idea, because she definitely got my brain thinking about it. Okay. These next ones are kind of the harder ones because I can't even show you. I don't know where that thing is. There it is. You're having to like flip the petals up in the front. And since we made these so thick, you can still move them around and make them however you want them to look. I like the idea of the 2-tone ones because then there's separation between the 2 petals. Not the 2 petals, all of the petals. Anyways, I gotta quit talking, my stuff's drying out. Just put another thin layer. I was gonna try to figure out something that is that thin, but I even put peanut butter thicker than what we're doing right now. Pick up some more colors. More colors, colors. And a lot of times I've only done like 3 of these. I don't like the first part of it, so I'll take that off and just remove that petal with another palette knife so I can kind of control it better.
Chloe, you can jump up there. You can make it.
He's just so scared. One. B, I may need your help with this big stencil. You guys, I have so many ideas for this. This. You guys have no idea. All right. I'm just gonna cut the first of that off. And then
What?
add that petal down there. I got 2 more petals to do.
Just blowing up.
That is Ring doorbell. Okay, just got 2 more petals, then we're gonna move on. I just gotta smear some more of this out. And then we're gonna use the rest of this to create a bigger piece with a lot of texture. All right. So all that's gonna curl over if I don't stop. It'll like do this and then it'll pick up this crusty stuff from the top of my palette knife. So I'm trying to keep it open. So now I'm going to put it in my piece. No! It's okay. One more petal. Can I say pedal to the metal if I'm talking about flowers? Or is that a no? Probably a no since Jeff was, he just exited. I can show you how to do those flowers as well. Had a little bit of transfer of some of my everything, but that's a flower. Not my best. Certainly not my worst. I think my main issue is these are, I need these to be flatter. Maybe come up here. Well, that's a great thing about working with this stuff. I can change the way it looks even after it's down. So let's put 2 petals just going upward and mold that and that. And then we'll just bring these guys, we'll just pinch them and make them taller as well. That looks more like a flower. I don't know if you have to seal them with something. I wouldn't imagine so. I will show you how to do that textured piece behind me in just one moment. This one. This is actually super simple in comparison. I'm gonna dry brush these and make them look amazing. Hey B, can I borrow your self? I guess we'll give this another one of these. Is that sticky at all?
I really doubt it.
So I'm going to be practicing this stuff to refine it more, because I know that anybody that's actually worked with this that may be watching is probably like, OMG, why? So yeah, I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. So for this one, you can use our hex stencils. You can use any stencil, really.
Yeah, there's like.
Jeff just sprayed this stencil with some sticky. So not the other side.
No, it is. It's that side. It's just like not.
Maybe because it's so thin,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of going through, but you heard me spray it.
I did.
This side, so.
I will show you how to do the white flowers. Okay. So now, take your sticky this and figure out how you want it. I am a fan for not even, so yeah. I like to offset it.
Like, it's almost like dry.
Okay, so if your this is almost dry, we're just going to take some more of our fresh modeling paste. We're gonna mix it in. Just fold it in. Don't do it with a plastic this, because you won't get very far at all. So it was drying out a bit, but because we caught it before it was solid, girl cat, it's not what that's for. But since we caught it before it was solid, we can mix just a little bit more modeling paste in it, wake it back up, and make it more usable. But as you can see, because I'm mixing more opaque whiteness into it, it has dulled out my color considerably. So while I have the yellow on my this, I'm gonna add a little bit more color. I mean, you may be able to add water, but that's kind of, that would be very, very delicate process. I feel like you could add too much water a lot easier than you could add just too much more modeling paste. But that's not to say you can't do it. In my 1 day of studies on this medium, I didn't see anybody doing that, but that's not to say you can't. That's just, I haven't done it and I haven't seen anybody do it, so I can't speak on it, but I don't see why it would be an issue. You know what I mean? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put out the yellow because I already have it mixed up. Let's go inside out. We'll start on the inside and work our way to the outside. After I get this done, I'll show you guys how to make the white flowers, and then class will be dismissed unless you guys have more questions. Okay, so for this, these stencils are not thick at all whatsoever, and you don't have to put a lot of product down to get your texture. In fact, it's better if you keep it on the thinner side. I know it. But since I would ultimately be wasting it if I don't leave it on here, I'm gonna leave it on here. But for real, skim it down to where you see your mold. Nope, what is this? A stencil. Skim it down to where you see the stencil underneath it, and that will help it to be cleaner. Relief? No. Texture? It'll be cleaner. All right, I'm gonna actually mix. I'm not even gonna mix it. I'm just gonna put some white as a something transition color. To keep from getting too much green. I already know that it's gonna happen, but that'll kind of help be a barrier between the colors. Ritterhoff did. I will keep that in mind then, because we love Anne-Marie Ritterhoff. P.S. Next time you guys are on her channel, tell her ATD says hello, because we love her and we miss her. Her new spot looks nice though. Okay, so now we're going to thin out our this real quick, and by thin out I just mean mix more modeling paste in it to get it back to a workable state, because I don't need it to keep high peak textures, so we're going to just work it back down to something that's a little bit more fluid, but not too fluid. Cleaner edges. See, I always need clarification. Your dog heard Bowie and started to growl. That's funny. Bowie's vicious, so I understand. There's nothing wrong with green. I just want it to be teal and yellow. You guys know that green never does what I need it to. Okay, we added just a little bit more color so that it's a little bit darker, because in my world, I love a juxtaposition between dark and light color, glossy and flat, shimmery and not shimmery. And so to keep that theme going strong, I'm trying to keep my aqua color a darker shade. Definitely would be easier if I had this on a palette instead of just a roll of butcher paper. But you know what? Sometimes you work with what you got, and sometimes what you got is just butcher paper, and that's fine, right? Right. All right, now let's slather this goodness on here. Slather, slather. Slather, bless you. More slather. And slather. All right. So now let's just pretend we're icing a cake, which 1000% is what this feels like. I feel like I am fully working with some buttercream right now, which is fine because who doesn't love buttercream? Ugh, dude. I would highly recommend spray adhesive for your stencil because all this movement, all this action is just gonna pick up your stencil and you're gonna get under it. And then you're gonna call me and ask what you did wrong. And I'm gonna say, did you use any spray adhesive? And you're gonna be like, I mean, maybe I did, but maybe not also. And then I'd be like, well, that's why your edges are fuzzy. And your edges are fuzzy because your modeling paste got under your stencil. So now that we have everything down, I'm not really that concerned about blending out the colors as long as there's some color in there. Maybe I'll even, let's see, what do we got? This. Let's do some of that. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll do an out way and then an in way and then an out way. Nope, that all looks the same. I don't want my yellow to get too whatever. It'll all look amazing once we pull up the stencil. I'm just trying to get a little bit more visual awesome. I don't know what this is gonna look like, but in my head it's gonna look amazing, so that's what we're gonna go with. B, do you wanna see the moment of truth or no? Fine. That's not a bad idea, Judy. You ready?
You could spray paint it if you wanted to. Put the stencil on the stencil and spray paint it and then peel it off.
Do you want to do that?
No, just do that.
Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Mommy, 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 no
This is
trick.
at 27%.
Yeah, but this is fun. I'll put it in there so I can clean it in a minute. So in like, I don't know, an hour, depending on how thick this is in some areas, I can sand down the high points and then I'm thinking about filling in with resin in between. So I'm not gonna worry about the high points right now. I'm just gonna sand it down.
Yeah, just wait.
Later.
That's what I did. I just waited and I hit it with some pretty rough sandpaper.
Hit it with the hi-hat. Will you hear me that Paisley one real quick? I just want to see.
I don't have very much time left, so.
I know. I just want to see it.
That's what-
Picking up all my extras. All my extras. Just doing a thin smear. Definitely less stressful when I know that it's got an adhesive on it to keep it from moving. That's okay. Mommy, 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 not try. I mean, it's paisley. How fun that, like, the perimeter paisley did stuff too. Yes, waste not, want not, and yeah. It's easiest to get as much as you can off your stencils with your palette knife, and then get up in your crevices.
Probably just like soak it in water and it will just dissolve, right?
I mean, it could. You can test it. So they don't have to. Should I just roll it and put it in there?
I think that's enough.
But yeah, mind your this, because it's going to...
Ooh, this is hot.
Thanks. Oh. It'll dry up on you. Okay. White flowers are super easy in comparison. I guess let's do it on this.
We have 24% left.
Okay, okay, okay. That base is not cheap. Very, very true. Okay, so now I'm gonna take just regular modeling paste out of my big bucket. Like so. I don't know why Jeff put it on my base instead of my this. For resin, run in the grooves only. How to keep... I'm probably gonna use a syringe to keep it away from the top areas that I want to keep glacé. Okay. So we're gonna take palette knife and just regular modeling paste, and I'm going to smear some on, and then I'm gonna have most pressure down here at the handle. Give it some motion and bring it in like a seashell. So this outer edge has more height, more texture than anything on the inside edge, and it kind of fades towards the center. Angela, how have you been? So then I'm gonna do a couple of those. Donna says I have 3 exhibitions coming up and need to do slideshow for them. My normal program does not exist now. Any suggestions? Suggestions on what to use for a slideshow? Okay. So then we're gonna need another petal and pressure down the handle and bring it in. So that's how our seashells are done. Thank you, Angela. We had an amazing time at our wedding. Still waiting for videos and stuff to come back, but they will. Okay. And I'm doing the same thing. And on that one, I got a little too deep with the pressure, so I'm just gonna go back through like that. Now it almost looks like 2 petals, and that's okay. I always like to start with 5 petals on the outside. I'm hoping that I can fit 5. Okay. So that's our basic flower shape of our background petals. I won't be able to bend or fold these like I did my other ones that I'm gonna be practicing, because I promise, if you look up plaster flowers, they actually look really cool. I just did not do them justice, but I'm gonna. I'm so sorry, Angela. You can always come here for fam. All right, now we're just gonna do some inside petals, making sure to stagger them so that they aren't laying exactly on top of the petal before it. Angela, all the love here from us to you. Also that. You see, we're just layering petals. All right. Can't imagine what that's like, Angela, but we love you. So now we have a center open. We're just gonna take I just have some on the end of my pointed palette knife. And I'm just giving it kind of a texture, just kind of stippling into it a little bit. And that's all it takes to do.
All right, you have 14%.
One of these flowers.
Flower.
So I only have 14% left, so I can't do a whole bunch with you guys. I'm just gonna try to do, I guess, a little one. It's harder to do little ones.
%.
Oh my goodness.
It's going fast.
Okay. I'm not used to this kind of pressure. So, I don't know if you guys can even notice how much more goopy this is than our first flowers. The idea with this is just to have more height on the outside of the petal And on the inside of the petal.
7%.
How is it 7%?
Actually, 1.
What? Okay, guys, be kind to one another.
It's
You never
going.
know what someone's going through.
Yeah.
And
Be
always
kind.
remember,
We do the test.
so you don't have to. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll show you guys what this looks like. And maybe we'll do something else textured-y.
Yeah.
So, till next time. Bye.
I said bye.